Hello? Um, hello?
Hi there.
What the what the devil are you?
Well, I'm nothing much there, old sport. How are you?
I'm good, but can you quit bothering me with your head? I'm trying to get a look at you here. You just is your face made of glass?
Why, yes.
What what business do you have here in my fine city that is currently under construction?
Trade, my good friend, trade. I bring many items. I bring olive oil. I bring guns. I bring cannons. I would like to trade with your fair city.
I
I'd also like to talk politics.
well, we don't have much to offer in the way of trade quite yet. Our crops have yet to grow. We're still a bit in the beginning times, as you see.
Well, my country is situated on a land of mainly gravel, so this is pretty much the best thing for me.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
Anywho, let me grab
are,
my
do,
stuff.
do you wish to come in, or
I would love to, old sport. Don't mind that. If I get a little too wet,
what
my circuits get crazy.
circuits? All right. May I ask your name?
Name's Quagmire. How are you?
I'm good. I am I am Uteranus.
Yes, sir. I heard from my previous colleague that your city was quite grand. You fought in the war for a little bit, see?
I wouldn't call it grand just yet. It's a grand undertaking. That's what it is.
Well, my city has people, but we don't have buildings quite as large as these, so it's much better over here.
Uh, Understandable, understandable. Um, well, that first area you saw back near the gate, that was my original settlement, my farmhouse, as it were.
Hmm.
Me and some colleagues of mine and the local people have also been working on a fine fortress to call home.
Hmm. Lovely, lovely.
A a good partner of mine. Yeah, I don't know if you know him. His name is Eric. He's a local blacksmith. He also owns a series of taverns, inns, and bars. Here is the Glowberry corner.
Yes, he has a business with us on the other side of the pond.
Oh, may I ask what he does for you?
He builds cannons and guns.
All right then, that seems very much like something he would do.
Yes, rounds or pounds.
Rounds, rounds or pounds? All right,
Rounds or pounds enterprises. We'll put a rope around the enemy of your neck.
all right. Um, it seems very him. It seems very him.
Yes,
Please don't
indeedy.
mind the golems. They have a habit of just napping wherever they so choose.
Ah, yes, I have heard quite a lot about your military might, which is why I bring
What
guns
to to
to trade.
threaten us? Oh, to trade. All right.
No, old sport, if I was going to threaten you, I would have already done it.
That's a fair point to make. It's a very fair point to make now that I think of it.
Where's a good
Well,
place for meetings?
honestly, follow me. The blacksmith just feels like a nice, secluded place, away from prying eyes and ears and such. Well, what would you like to discuss? What can I offer you is the thing.
Well, old sport, I'd like farmland. But mainly, I'd like to
Farmland.
place a casino in your city.
Casino. Can you elaborate what would be going on there?
Basically, what would happen, and this is how our republic works, is you would get, say, a random item to exchange for real money. What's what's a good thing? Let's say each mead, each bottle of mead costs 2 emeralds. You put in 2 emeralds, you get a bottle of mead. Then you take that bottle of mead to a little game. Toss it in, you play your luck, and if you win, you get back 5 bottles of mead. If you lose your bottle of mead. But that's how the game works.
Money. You're paying for a chance to get paid. That just sounds like a. Please take no offense to what I'm about to say, but that sounds like a very bad financial decision.
It's a bad financial decision, but boy, is it fun when you win.
If you win.
Fair enough, old sport. You played me well.
I, I'm not trying to play you, I just.
In
I
any
like
case, I
to.
have mead. I'd like to give it to you and see how you like it.
I'm not much of a drinker, but alright. Or, that's a lot of mead. Thank you.
Pass it around, tell your friends. It's mead.
It's very good. I've never had it before. I'm more of a wine man myself, personally.
Interesting, interesting. I know we have some iron trees that we've started developing, but only 3.
I Iron? I was talking about wine.
Yes, ironwood trees. They grow iron berries, and you can squeeze them for wine.
What? I'm talking about wine.
Yes,
All right. Um,
I'll have to show you whenever I actually
can
have some
you
on hand.
can you elaborate on like what you mean by farmland? Do you want us to send you layers of topsoil to help revigorate the gravel land of your home, or are you simply wanting us to trade you crops for whatever material you wish to give in exchange?
Now, sport, I'm suggesting I give you 3 cannons and you give me a small parcel of land so I can grow some crops. Then my people take them crops and take them back to lands.
Why not simply buy the crops instead of buying the land?
Well, there's less hassle. If you were to ever, heaven forbid, be knocked out of administration, I wouldn't have to worry about changing the price.
But wouldn't you also need to be paying for labor? Also, if you were to buy the land, you'd be paying for the large swath of land, labor, along with transportation. If you just buy the crops, you're paying a lot less over time than buying a chunk of land that will eventually go dead.
Think about it this way. I buy a parcel of land, I send my people out here to work off their debts, say, someone who bids low and tries to make it high, but loses everything in the process of gambling. I send them over here. Free labor. But they also work off their debts. I don't have to build a prison. It becomes a free nation.
Hey, for people who lose your game, you force them to work for you.
Yeah, so then they can come back and enjoy the fun.
Why not just not have the game that gets people imprisoned?
See, it's very rare for somebody to get imprisoned because they lose the game too often. However, just in case it does happen, we will send them there. We will have our own personal guards. The guards will be able to enjoy the freedom and relaxation of your beautiful country without actually having to interfere with your daily lives.
So you'll have a a micro prison in a country that doesn't belong to you.
that's one way you would like to look at it, old sport, that's fine.
I don't want to look at it whatsoever. I'm not. Please take no offense to this, but I am not a big fan of this deal.
Are you a big fan of cannons?
Necessarily, I try to avoid combat as best as I can. Yes, Eric did construct some long-range artillery atop the wall, but that is simply a precaution due to the. I'm sure you're aware of the anarchists.
Yes, old sport. Dredd told me all about them when he was still in office.
I
But consider
I was going
this.
to.
You set up a cannon from far away. You never have to enter combat, even if your technical abilities are not up to standpoint. No one can fight against the might of your Alistair cannon. And if they get too close, blow them away with a flintlock pistol, or at the very least, scare them off.
Maybe demonstrate the pistol. I've never seen a piece of technology such as this.
Well, this fine piece of material actually shoots a ball of unknown material. It is simply unknown because we don't have enough scientists to figure out what it's called. Once you choose a target, you pull a funny little trigger, and it goes bang.
Loud.
It is bang. Yes, it's loud. However, even if you miss, it'll scare away your enemy. So you can become a pacifist, but also show strength.
You do that by simply being a combat nut. Couldn't you just show strength by building strength rather than needing, frankly, dangerous weaponry?
Think about the most dangerous person you knew at one point. I believe it would have been warned. Yes.
Possibly.
How many people had to rise up against him and his comrades?
Several. I don't know the exact number, but quite a few.
Several. Imagine if just one of you had a flintlock pistol. You could simply scare him away back into his desert hole, and nothing bad, such as a war, would have ever occurred.
What's stopping him from getting these?
We're stopping him, old sport. You control the weaponry, and you control peace.
What's stopping him from building more?
He doesn't know the recipe. This was developed by two of the finest people.
What's stopping him from simply finding an alternative? I mean, I feel as though a good, well-enchanted crossbow or bow could do a similar amount of damage.
I suppose it could, old sport. However, does a bow strike fear into you hardly as much as this did just a few moments ago?
Uh, I feel like the bows that he shot at me with struck me with quite a bit of fear. This just confuses me. It just quite kind of looks like you stuck an iron bar, jammed a hole in it, and then attached it to a stick to me.
It's a very interesting outlook. In
That
any
is just a
case,
big metal tube.
would you like to see how one of these fire?
Not necessarily. I I'll need time to think on your offer. I'm not good at instantaneous ideas or agreements.
That's quite alright, old sport. In any case, I hope to see you at one of our casinos. That'll be all. I'll take this and go a-do.